Hey, thanks a lot for checking out LIFEmed.ca. I'm Mike Dangerfield. I've been telling you about the Patriot bed frame from Blake Medical and how easy it is even for one person to install. And I also let you know that they team up with these guys from Prius Healthcare USA when it comes to our Salute and our Rhythm Multi powered mattresses. So one of the questions that I do get asked from time to time is, when do we go from a static surface to a powered surface? You know, the family wants to spend $700 on an affordable infusion, static, gel-infused memory foam mattress, but then they realize that mom maybe can't turn herself in bed, she has limited mobility. That's when you need to maybe consider a Salute RDX or a Rhythm Multi or a Rhythm Turn. These are active powered surfaces that have alternating pressure and can even help the patient turn in bed. So make sure we've got that clear before we make a smart decision on which mattress is going to be most suitable for that patient. In our last segment, we talked to you about the Patriot bed frame from Blake Medical, and now we're going to tell you how we can combine some of Blake's mattresses with the bed frame, bundle it together so the price becomes more affordable for the family. The first one I'll tell you about is the Salute RDX here, that is a powered surface classified as micro-low air loss. Now it's imported into Canada from Prius Healthcare USA, and when Blake and Prius team up, I can tell you the service is outstanding. Blake's got all the parts and the service team in Hamilton, Ontario, and we've got techs in Florida that we can phone on their cell phones at any time and make sure that our clients are safe and that they're getting the service that they need. I think when it comes to managing wounds in bed, service and safety are paramount, and I can tell you that they've had LIFEMed's back the whole time I've been working with them, so that's pretty awesome. So when it comes to service, Blake is unbelievable. They go above and beyond. They'll actually let our clients try these mattresses out before they commit to buying them. The way that it works is we ship the mattress from Blake to a dealer near you, and that dealer will deliver it to your home. That way you know your mom or your dad is getting the perfect mattress and they're going to be able to have a good night's sleep before you make a commitment to buying it. So as you can hear, the Salute RDX is a nice quiet pump. It's blowing air throughout the mattress, but we can barely even hear it. So that's going to be important to a lot of people who are obviously trying to get a good night's sleep, right? The other thing is, in a home care situation, we may want to consider the utility bill. This is only blowing 6 liters of air per minute, so that's kind of like running a lamp all night long. So they're not going to get a shocking bill after plugging it in their first month using the mattress. So when it comes to micro-low air loss, one of the main reasons you'd want to go to an active power surface like the Salute RDX is you might want to be able to adjust pressure. I've got the bed in the upright position, you know, for somebody who might want to watch TV or be eye level having a conversation with someone. In those cases, they may feel a little bit of pressure down here, like they're bottoming out. So all we have to do is press the plus button, and that'll firm the mattress up by putting a little bit more air in those cells. And then conversely, when they're ready to have a nap, you can turn it down and use your hand pendant to lower the bed. Now they can have a good night's rest, get much more comfortable, have less pressure, and most importantly, will prevent wounds from occurring while they have a good night's sleep. So I think one of the most important features about the Salute RDX is that it can actually alternate pressure as well as just adjust it. It's simply a matter of pressing one button. It will change it from static mode to alternation, and now we're going to actually offload pressure on 1/3 of the body. So 2/3 of the body will always be supported, but every third cell is going to deflate just a little bit, then come back up, followed by the next cell which will deflate, come back up, and then the third one will do it, and the whole cycle will repeat itself from head to toe. So we're going to get a really nice wave of pressure that alternates from head to toe. This is going to mean a great night's sleep and a reduction in pressure, and we can set the intervals right here with the cycle, usually 10 or 15 minutes. It's that simple, and it's a really great feature. So from my experience, when we're managing wounds, the heels are a real tricky part to manage. Bony prominent part of the body, a lot of kicking, a lot of shearing. The Salute RDX has got this feature here. It's called a happy heel. It's one button with an icon of a foot sitting at the end of the bed. When we press that, we get less pressure in the bottom cells of the bed. So we get more of a heel float, if you will, and we don't have to worry as much about shear. Really important feature. So the CPR valve here is obviously for CPR emergencies. By opening it up, it lets the air out through this hose and valve system. We can shut it off really easily. But if there were an emergency where we wanted to perform CPR and wanted to let a lot of air out of here quickly, that's what you need to do. They got a really nice cover here on the nylon cells that keeps our clients feeling from like they're slipping in bed when they're in the upright position. And then the quilted cover that I've got open right now, it's really breathable, it's incontinent. So it's great in terms of having the air flowing around inside the mattress. And I think what you're going to find here is that if you've got a patient and you're concerned that they may be in a position where they could develop wounds, the Salute RDX is going to do a really great job of preventing those wounds from occurring, and most importantly, giving our clients a great night's sleep. Right, so here's a closer look at the pump. I'm going to go through a few of the features that it's got here, okay? Now when we're alternating pressure, it goes from static mode to alternate, and here's your cycle button to change how quickly those cells will alternate in pressure. And I can put it back to static, and then the cycle light comes off. I can do quick adjustments of air pressure by pressing the plus or minus signs. I can adjust pressure at the heels by turning on the happy heels section. And I'm going to show you now what happens if we were to accidentally lose air pressure. The low pressure light will come back on. I'll plug it back in, and now I'm going to hit max inflate, and in a moment here you'll see the low pressure light will come off. So while we're waiting for that, I'm also going to show you that if there were an emergency, something wrong with the mattress, this light would come on and you'd have to inspect it. The lockout button's interesting because sometimes we don't want kids, family members, or other residents changing the settings on the pump. So we can hold this down for 3 seconds, and that's going to prevent any of these buttons from occurring. You can see the low pressure light just went off from the max inflate. Alright, so I'll turn it back on by holding it down about 3 seconds. Finally, the service light doesn't usually come on. It comes on about once a year, and that just basically means that we got to do a little bit of maintenance. There's a filter here in the back that we want to make sure is always clean. I hope you can see that. Just run it under clean water and a tap. And if this service light does come on, then you probably want to get a technician to come out and just clean the inside of the pump, make sure there's no dust or hair in there, that kind of thing. And then finally, one of the best features is going to be what happens if there's a power failure. So I'll simulate it now just by turning the pump off. It'd be the same as if it got unplugged at the outlet at the wall. But if I turn that off, we get an alarm, and that tells us that we've got a power failure, so there's no longer air going from the pump to the cells. Now, one of the best safety features I've ever seen in a micro low air loss mattress is that you don't have to worry about the cells completely deflating with the Salute RDX. It's really cool. The bottom third of each cell will always retain air even during a power failure. So the patient is always going to be on some amount of air and won't bottom out. There's no foam underneath the cells because we don't want to have to worry about incontinence, infection control, and so on. We want our caregivers to be able to clean the mattress very easily. So that's a really terrific feature, and a close look at the Blake Medical Salute RDX. So the next mattress that I'm going to show you that's distributed by Blake Medical is the Rhythm Multi, okay? This is true low air loss. So compared to the Salute RDX, which is micro low air loss, this pump is much more powerful. It's moving way more air. 1,200 liters of air per minute, in fact, compared to the Salute, which is only moving 6 liters of air per minute. The difference is that now we're able to also manage moisture. Okay, so if we're dealing with stages 3 and 4 in terms of wounds, and we've got wound exudate to deal with, if our client's highly incontinent, we can now wick away 1.5 liters of moisture in a 24-hour period. As we all know, moisture is a big factor in healing wounds, so that's pretty amazing. We're also going to create a nice microclimate under the mattress. It's going to make our client feel way more comfortable. There's no doubt that there's more reduction in pressure, and these polythermal cells are plush and really soft. So we're stepping up in price point, but we're dealing with a much more sophisticated situation where we need to manage those wounds and deal with that moisture by wicking away as much of it as possible. We've got a polythermal cell. This technology is really soft, really plush. We get more immersion, more comfort, more pressure reduction. We can create a microclimate that's going to wick away all that moisture with the more powerful pump. We still get our alternation, but we also add a new feature, and that's called pulsation. Some of our clients can't tolerate alternation, so pulsation has to do with reactive hyperemia. Basically what we're doing is we're increasing the pressure of all the cells at one time and then dropping them down to stimulate blood flow. Now the Rhythm Multi can also accommodate those bariatric applications with an option for wider widths and higher weight capacities. So the Rhythm Multi is really easy to use, just like the Salute RDX. We've got our soft and firm arrows here to adjust our pressure. Our mode button takes us from static to pulsate or to alternate, and your time interval will pop up here. So you just change the cycle of the time interval by increasing it in 1 minute increments, and then when we get up to about 20, it'll jump to 5 minute increments and so on like that. I'll put it back to static now, and I'll hit the auto firm button, which is basically an opportunity to transfer somebody quickly in or out of the mattress, and you're going to hear how powerful this pump is. So you'll also notice that there is a lockout button. If we turn it on, that'll prevent anyone from tampering with the controls, and then we hold it down for 3 seconds and it shuts itself off. Okay, other than that, same deal as the Salute RDX. You're going to want to clean that filter, and if there's a power outage or low pressure, your indications will come on here. So one question I get from time to time is, what's the difference between standby and operate? If I turn it to standby, basically the pump's not going to work, but it's recognizing that there is power going to the unit. So when you're ready to put air through the mattress, you want to make sure you're in operate mode, and then you can use your controls. So the Rhythm Multi also has a Happy Heel section, but it's not a digital button on the pump. It's simply a manual dial, really simple. Open it up and you'll hear the air coming out so that those heels will get a nice float on those softer cells, and then we can cover it up here, keep it out of sight, out of mind. In our next couple of segments, we're going to talk a little bit about our mattresses, specifically the Infusion, which has a gel-infused memory foam topper, so it's really soft and it keeps our clients cool. It's also very affordable, and when you combine it or bundle it with the Patriot bed frame, now you've got a solution that's something you can have in a home care situation or a long-term care situation without breaking the bank. Thanks again for checking out LifeMed.ca.